So last week I recorded a video and we introduced the concept of buyer fatigue. It's something that's very real, it's something that's being experienced, and it's something that's completely understandable when you consider how crazy the real estate market has been over the past several months. Hi, this is Andrew with the Andrew Smith team at eXp Realty here with you today. And one person that isn't feeling any fatigue would be Bailey, my trusty companion over my shoulder here, who gets more than enough sleep, I assure you. But with regards to buyer fatigue, it's been tough. For all the buyers out there, you've been looking at property, you've been submitting offers, and you can't get anything accepted. You're being outbid, or an all cash offer comes in that just takes it away. And you've lost out on home after home after home after home. And it's frustrating. I mean, I feel it. It's not only frustrating for you as the buyer, it's frustrating for the agent as well. I mean, for us, it's difficult. It's difficult all the way around, except on the seller side. I mean, obviously, from right now, the sellers are truly in control due to the lack of inventory and the lack of the number of homes for sale. So, also last week, Fannie Mae released what is known as the Home Purchase Sentiment Index. It's a report on what it tracks is a difference between buyers and sellers, in how what their perceptions of the market are. No surprise, 77% of all respondents believe that now is a great time to sell. Makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, home prices keep going up. But here's what's really changed. One of the questions that was asked is now a bad time to buy a home? And the percentage of respondents saying that, yes, now is a bad time to buy a home hit 64%. I mean, that is up substantially. Just a month ago, it was at 56%. A year ago, it was 38%. So it's not really any surprise. As the HPSI, the Home Purchase Sentiment Index, said, consumers are continuing to cite high home prices as the predominant reason for their ongoing and significant divergence in sentiment towards home buying and home selling conditions. Okay, so the negative attitudes towards the market have increased. It's not unexpected. Like I said, it's been a crazy, crazy market. But let's look at it for a second. If you don't stay in the game, so to speak, and move forward with your idea to purchase, really your only other options are to sit on the sidelines and wait, right? Or to continue renting, or just to rent among itself. But when we look at those, what do those look like? Right. So I want to zero in on that today and just provide you with a little bit of perspective on where that is. And with rapidly rising home prices, the biggest concern that buyers have is that they're paying too much. And I'm not going to talk about a bubble or a crash today. I will put a link below this to last week's video, which goes into that in great detail. But a lot of that with the rising prices comes down to affordability. Where are we at in affordability? And mortgage rates have definitely increased. They were 2.65% this past January, and they've been hovering right around 3% over the last few weeks. They're currently at 2.9% about this morning. And on average, depending on the market that you're in, home prices have increased by 15.4% over the last 12 months. But the ironic thing is today is even though home prices are less affordable than they have been over the past couple of years, that doesn't mean that they're not affordable. As a matter of fact, when you look at the last 2 years, home prices were more affordable. But you go back to 2018 and we match that level. And homes today are still more affordable than at any time they were prior to the crash in 2008, and even for much of the last several years, except the last two. So with that in mind, let's look at rent. So alternative number one is I'm not dealing with the market. I'm just going to go ahead and rent. And you could consider that that's a better option, but consider this. The national rent report from Apartment List was just released in July. And according to them, so far in 2021, rents have gone up 9.2%. That's not 9.2% for the year. That's 9.2% so far in 2021. To put that in perspective, a year ago, the rent increase from January through June was about 2%. Okay, so it's a huge spike in where rents are going. So keep in mind that rents are going up as well. And in many cases, rents are going up faster than homes are, home prices. And as time goes on, that can make it even harder for anyone that's still trying to save for a home. So something to keep in mind. The other alternative is just I'll wait, right? I'm just going to wait. There's no point right now. Things are too crazy, and it may mean that you're either living in a place, either still at home, or you've moved in with family, or you are renting. So it ties directly in, but interest rates are not expected to stay at this level. They are expected to increase. And the Mortgage Bankers Association have just released their new mortgage interest rate forecast that shows that we could have mortgage rates of about 4.2% by the end of 2022. Historically, still a great rate, but certainly not 2.65%. No, the Home Price Expectation Survey of over 100 economists also forecasts that homes are going to continue appreciating all the way out into 2026. Now, we do expect that the pace of appreciation will come back down to more normal levels. Right now, if you look at nationwide as a consensus, they're forecasting about 5% appreciation next year in 2022. So if you look at that, that would mean if you're, homes, if you look at an average home price of about 350,000 and you forecast that out, the home's going to increase about $18,000 more, which means your down payment, if you're putting 10% down, you'll need $1,800 more, or $3,600 for a 20% down payment. Your mortgage amount's going to go up by $16,000 to $17,000. If the mortgage interest rate goes up by 1.3%, your payment will be over $300 a month more. Why do I tell you this? Not to say you should force yourself to buy now if it's not the right time, but I only say this to say if you're sitting on the sidelines thinking that prices are going to come down and mortgage rates are going to stay that way, I just don't think that's going to happen. There's no indication of that whatsoever. So I share this information so that you're armed to make the best decision for you. That's ultimately all that matters. You making the best decision for you and your family at this particular point in time. So hopefully that helps share a little bit of perspective on where we are with regards to buyer fatigue. And if you have questions or a specific situation that you'd like to talk through in more detail, please reach out. I'm always happy to talk to you, and we will answer those questions as best we can when the time is right. All right. Have a great week.